Welcome to AkulmachLive. I'm Chandrakant. We have been hearing this debate across the country about childbirth, and there are certain governments who are coming out with some new legislations on the child birth, and it's all related to population boom. So we want to discuss this particular aspect in AAA today. Before I start my discussion, here is a feature using which you can get connected to our channel instantly. All you have to do is point your camera from your mobile, and this QR code will get activated. This is a live QR code, and it will take you directly to our channel. So regarding our discussion, actually we would like to discuss this from the global perspective, and what is going on, and why population control is so much a vital issue and such an important issue to be discussed. I will meet you with that discussion in AAA after a short break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, friends. And in the today's section of AAA, we are discussing about the population boom across the world. And we have been hearing a big debate happening in India about how many children to have, how we should do it, who should do it. Many are linking with various religion and why this religion is having to pay the price, etc., etc. So many things are being discussed without understanding the crux of the matter. See, the crux of the matter is that the Earth as a planet has a definite size. It's a closed system, and whatever resources we have are found on Earth, and those are recycled by the natural processes. So those resources are neither increasing nor decreasing. At the same time, the population of humans is increasing, and since the time we have actually become modern, we have doubled the population almost 7 to 8 times. I mean, we are a couple of millions about 1,000 years back, but right now we are 7 billion. And when we say about doubling, the doubling has a very profound effect, because it's a time in which the population of the world doubles. So while the doubling used to take a couple of centuries, now it is taking a decade. So the last doubling happened about 50 years back, but this time after 7 billion, we will double within less than 10 years now. As per the estimates, the amount of resources that are available to maintain our current level of lifestyle are not sufficient to handle the human population of 14 billion, which is going to, which we will double up in next 10 years. The Earth can support about 12 billion human beings with the current lifestyle. So two things will happen. Either we reduce, we don't double, we don't increase our population, or we change our lifestyle. That means we start living much inferior sort of lifestyle, not so modern, or rather live a modern lifestyle but try to adjust to the resources that are available. So I think there are compromises all across. So when we discuss about population in India, and we're talking about how do we control our population, since it is affecting the globe, and if you look at India and China, nearly half of the world population reside in these two countries, and India is not to be blamed, neither China is to be blamed. Look at America. America established only a couple of 100 years back, 4 to 5 centuries back, when people started migrating to America. Now, United States of America is the third most populous country in the world. So how did that happen? It's not that India is responsible for the population that we have today, or China is responsible for the population that the China has today. It's basically dependent on the migration. See, if there are more resources available in certain area, then all the humans tend to migrate to that area. So that is why the population boom as we speak, it's not the birth rate or number of people. It's basically people are coming into this fertile land. from all over the place, from all over the centuries, and settling in this country. And that is why the population of India is so high. I mean, in India, people have been, coming over and establishing themselves from all over the world. If you see, I mean, there is a history of colonization, and all over the place, people have come and they were actually looking at the resources which are available in India. And that is why more and more people came. India became such a populous country, or such a populous nation today. So having established this point, I like to then talk about what works and what doesn't work. So what really works is basically implementation of infant mortality decrease plans, which are related to decreasing infant mortality. Why? Say, if example, the infant mortality is quite high, used to be very high in India, but now it has dropped drastically. But if you look at Africa, some of the other countries, the infant mortality is still very high. So it is directly linked to population boom. If you have more and more infants not surviving after birth, then the parents are under pressure to produce more and more offsprings. And gradually this becomes a sort of a culture to keep producing offsprings. So that is why it is important to have a better control on infant mortality. And this is something that works, because you can't really have a dictatorship and saying that, hey, do this, do that, because humans will then like to have freedom and how they want to live, how they want to control their families. The second thing, tested and tried method, is child taxes. So how many child are allowed by the law, by the government, for free in any country? Beyond that, there will be some sort of taxes or some sort of plan which the state government or the central government of each country will then impose on parents who are having more children. So this is something which works. By and large, I would say, I'm an Indian. By and large, I have not seen during my lifetime, I have only probably seen 2 or 3 parents having 3 children or 4 children. By and large in India, most of the people, 99, I would say, or even 90%, let's not talk about 99, let's say 90% of the parent will have only 2 children, and many have 1 children. So 1 child. So inherently, basically, this is our culture. We don't want to have 3 or 4 children. So we are controlling that, and that is why these 2 things are very, very important. And these things work indirectly in controlling the population, which is improving the infant mortality and imposing child taxes. So we can actually decide, some sort of tax after 2 children, and that will stop parents producing, because one side they have a better survival rate of their infants, and second, after 2 they can stop because there will be taxes on them. So these 2 plans definitely works, tested, tried by many countries, and these plans works. What doesn't work is one-child policy. So China actually came out with this policy in 50s, saying that any parent cannot have more than 1 child. So this doesn't work because this creates a lot of other social problems. For example, if you look at China, the China social problem is that there is a big difference between men and women ratio, simply because most of the parent wanted boy, and if there was a girl child, I don't want to talk negative, but they want to eliminate the girl child and proceed with the boy, because the government had imposed one-child policy. That means any parent can have only 1 child, so they preferred a boy, so that they, the boy will grow into a man and then work in the field, grow rice, etc. So today, after 70 years of this law, the situation has become a social problem for China, where they don't have women to marry the men. There are a lot of men available today, but hardly women available for many. And that is why Chinese are spreading all across the world, because they don't get partners in their own country. And number two thing, and India is also having this policy, which is family planning. Now, this family planning doesn't work simply because it's a human nature to, I mean, if you have humans to think for themselves what is beneficial, what is not, those kind of things humans will follow. But if you say, hey, you have to do planning like this, and you have to do exactly these, this is how you can do it best, then tendency is sort of a rebellion. And if you make rule around family planning, then it will not be followed by anyone. So definitely these two things, which is one child policy and family planning, doesn't work. So these are the things I thought I'll discuss openly, since there is already a debate brewing up in India about two-child policy. I think it's very logical to have two-child in any family, because beyond two children in any family, it is quite difficult to maintain, to make them study, to take care of them, to provide means, to give them a good lifestyle. It becomes slightly more tedious. So I think two-child policy, and when some states in India are talking about two-child and taxation, when I say tax, it's not really a tax which is imposed, but I think the policies of the government will not favor parents with having more than two children. So I think this is something that we want to discuss today and bring forth in front of the people. Do engage with me. I look forward to your comments. And if you have any suggestions for future episodes, do write in. I will also try to bring in you live along with me to present to people. So for today, I like to say goodbye, only to catch you next time.